and welcome back. You may notice something a bit different. If you follow me on Instagram or if you follow my Facebook page or anything like that, you already know about this change. It may look slightly different to the pictures. So I went from being mermaid hair to a redhead, like proper redhead. For a very good reason. I have a massive Irish dancing competition at the end of the month and I didn't want to wear a wig. So the best idea was to just strip out the blue and green. It seemed like a good idea at the time anyway. And I just did it sooner rather than later for I had a family event, shall we say, and I just wanted to have normal hair for family pictures, etc. because there was an older generation of people there and they would have been happier with more normal hair. So I changed a bit and got this done a wee bit sooner. I got it done when I was at home. And I'm still adjusting. I'm aware it's actually really nice and it's come out lovely with the darker red and then into a strawberry blonde, kind of more of a gingery kind of look at the end, and it's quite multi-tonal. You know, it has come out really well. I just very much miss my mermaid hair. I think I've got mermaid dysmorphia. I don't even think that's a thing. I may have it anyway. So, quick rundown of the process and how I got to this hair. You may remember my hair was pretty long. If I brushed it out, it was down to about my waist, so down to about here. So immediately I've had a massive cut. That was basically, it just needed a really good cut. The more I was using lots of oils and things to look after my hair, and it had massively improved in condition. Just the ends were not going to get any better really, I guess, because it's, you know, the hair's already there. It's not like it's going to renew itself a whole pile. So just ended up having to cut it off. Now he did do it in stages. He didn't just cut it all off because I think I would have cried at that point. But he took off the dark blue hair when we first started doing the dye job. So we took off a good couple of inches of the very darkest blue at the very end. It was the darkest part of my hair. And then we started stripping my hair. So it took 3 attempts to strip my hair, or 3 goes round to strip my hair. You'll see in the wee clips. So they layered on various stripping products, shall we say, and to get the blue and green, to pull that blue and green out. Now if you have blue and green hair, be warned, it is very difficult to get those out of your hair. So I had done the job myself at home, well, myself and my husband. We bleached my hair twice, I think, to get it as light as possible before then putting the fashion colours over the top. So the various mints and all that kind of jazz. Very lucky I didn't actually completely break all my hair and it came out when I was thinking about it afterwards. But you know, if you're going to get your hair bleached, I would recommend going to a hair salon, if nothing else, just to get the bleach job. Anyway, so because I'd done it at home, it maybe wasn't entirely even, so that meant that when I was putting the various colours on top, it was quite patchy as well and just an uneven application, which I really loved because it meant that my hair was really multi-tonal, and I loved that. So I was happy enough with that anyway. However, when I was removing it, I was regretting it because it made it a nightmare to remove it. As you'll see in the wee clips, when we did finally finish the 3rd stripping out part, I guess, we had to go in 3 times. So they did it the first time, rinsed it out, and then went in and then topped it up. So, you know, there's that. Most of my time spent in the hairdressers was stripping the colour out. I was there for 5.5 hours. That's a pretty long time. So, stripped the hair, was left with like quite a platinum blonde, but with a very, very definite blue and green hue to my hair. Not ideal. So, to counteract the blue and green, we went with red. That was supposed to be the initial colour, and then we were going to go in and highlight it again with the blonde. So we went in with the reddy brown and left that in, and when we rinsed that out, it was quite dark at the roots and quite blonde on the ends. Still quite blonde of itself in the ends, but it was definitely looking a lot more normal colour than it was before. Then I spent some time talking to my hairdresser and was like, oh, what do I do? Should I go blonde? Is it going to completely frazzle my hair if I go blonde? Is it going to take, will it look good, or will it just look like a weird grey hue to my hair? Which you just don't want, because it looks dead and gross and just not a nice colour. And we decided to go with the copper. Now my hair when I initially did it was more this kind of colour, and I've washed it twice and it is now more this shade at the end, and I've still got this dark colour at the roots, so that's where my roots would be quite dark, and the red has really taken there because it's fresh hair and it's a nice dark red, which I really like. And I like the strawberry blonde, so it kind of looks quite natural in that it's, you know, it's all multi-tonal and it's got a lot going on. So that looks quite natural. I've had quite a few people think it's my natural hair colour. I don't know how you go from, you know, blue-green to back to your natural hair colour, but you know. We went with the copper and then we cut the rest of my hair off. We gradually did it, and I really liked it when it was initially done, and I still think it's a nice hair colour and it's a nice cut. It just doesn't look like me at the minute. I think that's where I'm having the issue at the minute. I look in the mirror and I just don't recognise the person looking back, and I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of it. It's nice, and I have some friends who have just the most beautiful red hair, like naturally this kind of colour, and I have some nieces that are like real strawberry blondes and real fiery redheads. I love it. I just don't know if I love it on me. Now a lot of people have told me they really like it because it does actually kind of look like it might be my natural hair colour, because the paleness and being Irish and all that kind of jazz. It's not my natural hair colour. I'm actually more of a mousy brown with blonde through it, sort of a dirty blonde through it as well, so in the summer it would go quite blonde. But yeah, this is my natural hair colour. I'm still adjusting, and I would probably have this for the next, I'd say the next 6 weeks, shall we say, before I then have to just go back to having multicoloured hair. But yes, I really enjoy it, but it's just not me. It doesn't look like me. When I look at myself in the mirror, it doesn't look like me. Like I said, mermaid dysmorphia. I have mermaid dysmorphia, I think. I only see myself with mermaid hair. So I will be going back, and I will tell you about that process and show you how it goes from being red to more fashion colours. I'm saying fashion colours because that's what they're called, I guess. But yes, if you have any questions, I'm aware that this is just a video about my hair dye job and how I got to where I am, but I'm aware that there are some people who would be going from more fashionable colours to like normal hair colour, and how you might go from blue-green to a more normal hair colour. I'm not sure I'd recommend the blonde because you will have that hue, and you will have, like when it did it, you could just sort of see it almost looked like a weird grey, washy, weird colour at the ends where the blue-green was still there. I wouldn't recommend it. So, like I said, any questions, let me know. Thanks a million for watching. Please like, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and you know, subscribing is free. I had somebody ask me that, oh, so what does it cost to subscribe? Like an older generation? Doesn't cost you a thing, you can subscribe. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks a million for watching, guys. Bye!
Primarche. Oh, was that the new thing?
Yeah, that was we take the mic with.
Oh right,
Primarche.
okay. I thought it was Primarni.
That'll do too. We have the